In this video, we are going to see Introduction to VLSI Design. So here we are going to discuss the subject VLSI Design according to the NIST syllabus. So our learning objectives are: what is an IC, history of IC, what is a transistor, Moore's law, levels of integration chips, VLSI circuits and its applications. So first let us see what is an IC. IC stands for integrated circuit. Integrated, the meaning is we are going to combine it. So in a single chip, tiny resistors, capacitors and transistors are fabricated. So millions and thousands of transistors, resistors are fabricated in a single IC. So this is called as integrated circuit. So history of IC. Jack Kilby was an American electrical engineer. Built the first integrated circuit. So in the olden days, electronic circuits used large, expensive, power hungry and also it uses unreliable vacuum tubes. So to overcome these drawbacks, they go for the new transistors. So in 1947, John Batten and Walter Brattain built the first functioning point contact transistor. So on the left hand side, the figure given, this is the point contact transistor, first transistor. Then 10 years later only, Jack Kilby realized the potential for miniaturization. That means we have to simplify it. So he founded the integrated circuit. So what is a transistor? Normally, transistor is a switch. So it can be viewed as an electrically controlled switch. That means either using current or voltage we can control the transistor. That means it can switch on or off depending upon the input current or voltage applied. So early integrated circuits used bipolar transistors. So bipolar junction transistor can be classified into two, PNP transistor and NPN transistor. The symbol is given below. So here we are having three terminals. One is base, then other terminals are emitter and collector. Depending upon the input current given to the base, it switches on the transistor or switches off the transistor. So base is the control input here. The main drawback of BJT is, that is bipolar junction transistor, is at the base terminal it will dissipate some quiescent power because of the input current applied to it. So due to that we cannot integrate more number of transistors into a single IC. So to overcome this problem we go for MOSFET. So in 1960s there came into the market metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, that is MOSFET. So the main advantage of MOSFET is it draws almost zero control current when it is ideal. So this is one of the advantage of MOSFET. So it also has two flavors. One is NMOS and another one is PMOS. The symbol is given below. The first one is N-channel MOSFET and the second one is P-channel MOSFET. So three terminals, one is gate, then other one is drain and another one is source. So after some years they have used PMOS transistors in their project, but the main drawback of PMOS transistor is poor performance. So to overcome this drawback we go for NMOS transistors. But in NMOS transistor also there is a drawback. The drawback is power consumption is more. So in order to reduce the power consumption, there came a new technology, that is CMOS technology, complementary metal oxide semiconductor technology. So CMOS is nothing but combination of PMOS and NMOS. So now CMOS is used in many places. Next, level of integration of chips. Depending upon the number of transistors present inside a single IC, the level of integration is classified. So in the year 1950 there comes small scale integration. So the number of transistors in a chip is less than 100. Similarly in medium scale integration the range is given between 100 and 1000. Then large scale integration in 1970 the number of transistors fabricated in a single IC is between 1000 and 10,000. Then comes the very large scale integration, that is between 10,000 and 1 lakh. Then again there is ultra large scale integration, that is ULSI in 1990 and 2000. Super large scale integration, SLSI. But now the trend is VLSI, very large scale integration. Then in the year 1965, Gordon Moore, so he only observed that and for every 18 months the number of transistors gets doubled in fabricating inside an IC. So this law is called as Moore's law. So according to Moore, the transistor count doubling every 18 months. Then various applications. The VLSI circuits are used in real-time applications like microprocessors in personal computer, then chips in graphic card, digital camera, camcorder, cell phone, etc. Now let us revise it using one more questions. So first question, who built first integrated circuit? The answer is Jack Kilby. Second question, John Bardeen and Walter Brattain built the first functioning dash transistor at Bell Laboratories. The answer is point contact transistors. MOSFET is a dash control device. So always remember, MOSFET is a voltage control device and BJT is a current control device. So next question, BJT, bipolar junction transistor, is a dash control device. So it is current control device. The quiescent power dissipated by dash limits the maximum number of transistors that can be integrated onto a single die. So the quiescent power is dissipated by the base current. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor consists of both PMOS and NMOS transistors. What is the main advantage of CMOS transistor? The main advantage of CMOS transistor is power consumption is less. Dash law states that the transistor count doubling every 18 months. Moore's law. So VLSI stands for very large scale integration. ULSI stands for ultra large scale integration. If you like this video, kindly subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Thank you.